Okay, everybody. Quick update on our mealworm farm. In one of our last video, person comment and ask, will they get out? Well, in order to answer the question, we waited because they had just asked right after we set up the mealworm farm. So we waited and we've had the mealworm farm for approximately a month now. And so I can give a definitive answer, and the answer is no, they will not get out. Um they don't seem interested to get out. They they just seem to enjoy their little food source, and like they like crawling underneath that egg shell thingy there, that eggshell casing. So if you are doing your research into setting up a mealworm farm, when it comes to container, these have been the best so far. And now I myself have tried and tested them. It has, as I said, it's been a month. We've gone through several stages of the mealworm because we bought 1,000 mealworm, and they gave us 250 beetle, and all our mealworm have transferred out there. So there's a new generation of mealworm underneath there. It's so fine you can't really see them. There's mealworms in there. They're baby stage. They're basically invisible to the naked eye. As you can see, stage 2 drawer is empty. Totally empty. Or seem empty to the naked eye, but it actually has a lot of mealworm and eggs also. And we've transferred, we cycled them completely, so they changed into larvae. We've took out 850 larvae transformed into beetle, and now we're up to 1,200, roughly 1,200, 1,300 beetle in here. And you can see that. So we did add a next bottle of oatmeal to the drawer to increase the volume of the substrate. And as I say, I'm hoping that we can bring it up to here, because the 5,000 beetle is the goal. 5,000 beetle to feed the flock. If you guys stay tuned, in my next videos we'll be harvesting some of the mealworms them to feed to the chicken. So that should be in like 14 days, 21 days. We want to have enough mealworm. There, it's very easy to maintain. 1 month, and we have not changed the substrate as yet. We give them fresh carrots about every week and remove the dried up one. But yeah, the container goes very well. They don't seem to be interested to get out, or they can't adhere to the plastic siding. So a 3-drawer cabinet, plastic cabinet, should be sufficient enough to raise your mealworm. And so far we're up to roughly 1,200. We're gonna try to max out how much can fit in there. They're nocturnal. Even with the light on in the living room, it's like somehow they can sense when it's night. And they always, like, during the day, they're all buried in the substrate. You can't really see them. As soon as it get dark, they come out. Should be A healthy growth, because we need a lot of mealworm to feed the farm. I'm hoping that when harvest day comes, I'm able to harvest at least 5 pound of mealworms from the second stage. This stage, I've already fed our latest set of hatch chickens some of the dead mealworms, because some of them died during birth process. So I've already feed it to the chickens them, and they love it, can't get enough of it. This is stage 3 draw, and in this draw here we have the pubas and the beetles. These are the dead ones that we harvest out. They get black like that when they die, and we harvest them out. And let me see if we can find any beetle. Okay, so this is what they look like when they're fresh beetle, just transform. I'm gonna take it and put it up into the top drawer here. And the lighter color ones, just like this one, the lighter color ones are the ones that we transferred lately. They're the younger ones. So, they all transformed into pupa. Second stage empty. Third stage still have a few left to hatch out. There is a next beetle. Just transfer my person. And that's how we do them. It's kind of difficult to keep track of them. I'm off to come up with a system where I try to find the average weight of one beetle and just weigh them. So it's easier, efficient. But so far, the process is easy. The farm is easy to maintain. They are well contained. There's really little you have to do, but just transfer them throughout the stage. And some people mention that you can keep them all in one drawer. It's really not advised, because what happens is, when the other beetles are when the larvae turns into beetle, and the beetle don't see any food source, or when it kind of bites its siblings, like this one was eaten. It got bit up by the ones that come. So we have to check this third drawer here very often to make sure that any beetle isn't in there eating the other larvae them. And we just pick out the shells also. When they transform, they leave a little exoskeleton. The baby chickens love that. The good thing about it is that the chickens eat oatmeal as well. So when it's time to feed them, we're gonna change the oatmeal. Sorry, when it's time to change the oatmeal, we can feed it to them and stuff like that. But we're gonna harvest out, as I said, want to harvest out 5,000 more before we change the substrate or anything like that. So I hope I answer your question. I hope I got straight to the point. My little rant and vlog is just for those who are interested in having the hobby and feeding their chicken, reptile, turtles a healthy snack. As I say, it's basically self-maintenance. Just a few carrots and really cycling them out. I can't wait till we have the middle section full again, because the last time we only had 1,000 mealworm in there. So now we have 1,000 beetles breeding, and one of them can lay up to, I'm not sure, but multiple eggs a day. So we expect to have a lot of mealworm in 21 days, because they stay tiny. When they're small, like they are now naked to the invisible eye, they stay like that for roughly 51 days or more. and we've already had them 30 days now. So 30 more days we're supposed to see the puber, not the puber draw, the worm stage draw refilling up. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. Remember, guys, it's a fun hobby to have. I was watching VidQ, trying to get my channel fit, and he was like, oh, don't tank your channel and start a mealworm farm. I felt it in my stomach. I'm like, what's wrong with having a mealworm farm as a hobby? It's pretty fun. I think, as I say, I like system. As an engineer, I realize that everything is a system. Like a car is just a AC system overlay with a powertrain system overlay with a cabin system overlay with a. So it's just systems, and this ecosystem is simple enough to maintain. They don't require water because they take their water from the food source. As you can see how dehydrated that carrot is versus how they look when we put them in there with a lot of water. So just one source of food and bam, unlimited supply of food. And the puber is so high in protein too. When you give your chickens them, it fatten them up and keep them happy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Comment, ask any question you'd like to ask about them. Our mealworm farm for our chicken. This is our first 30-day update. We've just transferred all our mealworms into puber and 850 black beetles placed back into the breeding chamber, and the mesh system underneath here. That mesh system works well. As I said, we found evidence of the baby worms there being in there. And so we gave you guys an update. Remember, comment, tell me how your mealworm farm is going. Like, subscribe. Boom, I'm out.